Welcome to Tibra's Den, everyone. My name is Whitney, and welcome to another Cast Monday. Sorry I didn't post last week. Kind of was recovering from the holidays and just taking care of myself a little bit. And so today we are doing Winnie the Pooh and Friends. I was actually watching Winnie the Pooh the other day, and I felt like making some Sims based on those characters. I absolutely love Winnie the Pooh and all the friends that go along with it. And so that's what I did. I did all the classic characters, and I also did Owl. I know he's not necessarily always in all the different films and such, and I did not do Gopher because I don't really like Gopher. And I know Gopher kind of took over. I feel like, anyway, I don't know the actual story behind it, but it's like Al kind of disappeared and Gopher kind of entered the picture. And like I said, I personally like Al a lot, so that's why I added him instead of Gopher. So don't, if you're a Gopher fan, I'm sorry, but yeah. So right now we are creating Pooh. I gave him the big happy family aspiration. He is cheerful, of course. He is a glutton, and he is lazy. And so this is Pooh. I really tried to make a very round looking sim. I thought that was pretty, classic of Winnie the Pooh. And then I kind of went for like a color theme for each of them just to kind of get the right vibe, I guess, for them. And skin tone wise, too, I try to kind of go with the different character. And so, of course, Winnie the Pooh is very yellow. And so I went for a very yellow type skin tone, and then some yellow hair. I know the hair was a little bit hard on all these guys, but I think what I came up with worked really, really well. And then the eyes, it's just black eyes. So I gave most of them black eyes. I think I did Eeyore a little bit different, and I can't remember if I gave Kanga and Roo black eyes or not. Eeyore, I honestly forgot, and when I went back to change, I was like, it's fine. So, just something a little bit different. And so, yeah, I mean, I wanted to give them different outfits based on the different types. And so some of their everyday and like hot weather and cold weather are pretty similar, but I try to go a little bit different on some of the other outfits. And then for his shirt here, I did look in some of the feminine shirts just because I was trying to see, his belly's always kind of sticking out, and so I wanted to get a shirt that kind of had his belly sticking out. Unfortunately, that just wasn't possible. The feminine shirts definitely give them certain attributes that males don't have, and so I wasn't happy with that. So I just went with this t-shirt and then a pair of yellow shorts. Just pretty basic. I gave him some yellow pants on some of the outfits, things like that. But for his everyday look, I did go with some yellow shorts, and I think he's cute like that. I really like my Winnie the Pooh sim. But I think out of all of them, though, my favorite probably has to be Eeyore. I really like Eeyore. Not so much the outfits, but the sim I created. As far as outfits go, I think I had a lot of fun with like Piglet and Tigger, and I like Kinga's outfit as well. I was able to really capture her, I think. But you guys will definitely have to let me know what you think of how I did and what I came up with. Like I said, a lot of the outfits are pretty similar. Um, definitely going for a certain style and a certain color. There's not a lot of different options you can go with. And so I was trying to keep that in mind as well. So, but yeah, this is my Pooh. I wanted to give him that shirt with the light bulb because he's always going think, think, think. But it has the writing on the back, and I just really didn't like that. Otherwise, I probably would have gone with that shirt because that's one of my favorite things he does is think, think, think. So, but, you kind of got to pick and choose what you're willing to accept when you're going for a certain look. But that is Pooh. That is my little Pooh Bear sim. I really like him. And I thought about maybe making him younger. I think I made most of them young adults. And I think I made Owl an adult and Kinga an adult, but I can't remember for sure. what I did. So now we are on to Piglet. I also gave him the big happy family aspiration just because I wasn't really sure what aspiration to give him. And he is paranoid, he is good, and he is sweet, is what I gave him for traits. I thought those worked really, really well. And, he's always scared and not very brave, but when it comes down to it, and if his friends need him, he always steps up to the plate. So Piglet is actually, well, Eeyore's my favorite character of all time, but I have a soft spot for Piglet too. I think, I don't know. I just like how he is so timid and so scared, but he always kind of steps up to the plate when need be. So Piglet is definitely up there as far as top characters in my book, but I really do like how he turned out. I think I definitely captured his essence, I would say, and I just really like him, and I think he's cute. He's a little bit of an oddball looks wise, but I mean that's the fun thing about doing Sims based on like animals and things. You can kind of go outside of the box. You don't have to stick to what people would consider, like pretty or classically beautiful or anything like that. You can add a lot of character to these guys, and that's what I really like about doing, the different Sims based on animals or animated characters, things like that. Is you really can add some character and some variety to them, I guess is what I'm looking for. But for his outfits, I really tried to go with stripes because he does have kind of a striped body for his mid portion. So I really tried to stick with stripes. And I love that I found this shirt that had the pink stripes because it also has a scarf. And I remember, watching Winnie the Pooh, and when it was windy or blustery and cold, Piglet always had a scarf on and it would be blowing, and it was just always so cute. I love that little touch, and so that's his everyday look. I did think about giving him some socks. You'll notice none of these guys have shoes because it just didn't quite feel right to me, but I did consider giving him socks. I just didn't like how it looks, so I ended up not going that route. But I still really like how he turned out. And then trying to find workout pants for him was a bit of a challenge, but in the end I think it works out okay. I can't really remember which ones I ended up going for. Those rolled up ones, I guess I did. So, and then his sleepwear is maybe a little bit unconventional for the character, but making him as a sim, I really like this shirt and I like those pants. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. It doesn't necessarily scream Piglet to me other than being pink, but I do like it. And then for his party, no stripes here, but I like that it had the little sweater tied around him. It just kind of gave me those scarf vibes again. And so that's why I went for that. And then swimwear, just pretty basic there. And then again for hot weather, just striped shirt and shorts. And then for his cold weather look, if I could speak, that would be handy. I went with, just pair of jeans and this sweatshirt right here, the sweater and shirt right there. I thought that was really cute. And I did give him a hat for this as well. I apologize for the growling in the back if you can hear that. I've had to start and stop so many times because it's their dinner time and they get really playful when it's their dinner time. So I'm just going to try to ignore it. Hopefully you guys can too, but I really want to get this done since I was already supposed to get it out last week and I haven't gotten it out yet. So, but yeah, now we are on to Eeyore, which is my favorite character. I really like how he turned out, but his outfits are kind of a little bit blah, I would say. The outfits aren't the most creative or best, but it's gray. I mean, shh, quiet, please. And so I made him, he wants the big happy family as well, and he is gloomy, of course. I gave him the absent-minded trait and clumsy. And I did that because he's always losing his tail and his house is always falling down. And so I thought out of all the traits that I have, those probably fit the best. Gloomy's definitely him. The other two, I think there's a little bit of wiggle room, but that's what I thought fit best for him out of what I had. And so that's what I went with. And you can see here I do change his eyes, but I didn't change his eye color for whatever reason. And so I do go back in when I start. I think I worked on Rabbit next. I end up going back in and looking at those, but I can't remember if I ended up changing them or if I just kind of left them the same. I might have changed them to like a grayish blue color. I'm not entirely sure though, so you'll find out when I find out, I guess, here in a little bit when I start working on the next sim. But I definitely went for very kind of droopy eyes and droopy mouth, and then he does have his little mane, and so I wanted to give him some hair, but it was hard trying to get Eeyore vibes, like, that I thought worked. That was a little bit more difficult because I don't know, it doesn't sit the same as it does on a donkey. So, but I ended up going with this hair here, and then I went for a very gray toned skin color. I wanted very gray and just kind of blah and gloomy looking. That's the look I was going for, so hopefully I did achieve it. I like him. Like, I look at him and I think Eeyore. So I really like how he turned out. And then, like I said, for his outfit, just went with gray. I really like the shirt I found for his everyday outfit, and I almost wish I had used it, I think, for his cold weather. But I liked how it had, like, the little fray bits on it. I thought that was really kind of classic for Eeyore. He has his tail that keeps popping off, and I don't know. I got Eeyore vibes from that, and I really liked that shirt and how it looked on him. And so I almost wish that I had used that later on as well. But I was trying to mix it up a little bit. For his formal look, I just went with a basic button-up shirt, nothing too fancy. I don't see him going too over the top. And then athletics, pretty basic as well. Sleepwear, again, very, very basic. Just gray shirt, gray pants. Nothing over the top. For his party look, I did go a little bit jazzed up a little bit, not much, but I went with this shirt here. It does have the patterns, and it has the collared shirt underneath, and I wanted to add a little bit because in some of the episodes, you have Eeyore and he has like a little party hat and little decorations on it and things. I'm sure that's his friends doing it to him, but it just, when there's a party, he does kind of dress up a little bit, and so I wanted that to kind of transfer over to his sim self. So that's kind of what I went for. Basic for hot weather. I ended up going with those ripped jeans, and again, just kind of frayed look. I like that for him. And then for his cold weather, I went with these jeans as well, and then that shirt there. But like I said, my favorite shirt for him is definitely this one. I think that's pretty standard Eeyore. So, and now we are on to Rabbit. So he wants to be a freelance botanist. He is self-assured. I kind of wanted a know-it-all trait, but I went with self-assured because I think that's the closest I could get. And then he is neat, and I gave him, that's right, I changed from neat to proper. So I gave him the vegetarian trait because he likes his carrots. Of course, he's always trying to chase the bugs out of his carrot garden. And then I gave him the proper trait because he's always getting mad at Tigger. And reading the description for proper, they don't like when other Sims are mischievous or improper. And so I thought that was perfect for Rabbit because he's always getting on Tigger for being improper. So I really like that. And I like how he turned out. I definitely gave him the very high cheekbones, very long face. I do stick his ears out as always. And then he's a bit disproportioned, I would say, as far as like a sim goes. But for a rabbit, it works because if you look at Rabbit, he has a very skinny, narrow top, but a very big bottom and thick legs, for hopping around and such. So a little bit disproportioned when you look at him as far as the sim goes, but it made me think of Rabbit, and so that's kind of why I went with that. And then I did give him a little bit of hair as well, of course. Nothing too fancy, just kind of a little tough and a little bit of shaved on the side. And then for his look, I kind of went. He's kind of like a yellow tan, orangey color, so that's what I went with for the skin tone, trying to capture that as best as I could. And then I try to go for like a beige kind of brown, not like a dark brown or anything like that. And I did want to try to capture like a very proper put together look. That's kind of what I think of when I think of rabbit. And so I went with this top here. I really liked it. I thought it worked well for him. And then just found some basic bottoms. I wanted something pretty neat and such. So this actually worked well. That look worked well for his formal look, and so I ended up keeping that. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I changed. Okay, I did change the top, but the first look. Okay, I went back to it. Sorry, I can't remember what I did either. So I was gonna say I thought I kept that look, but I was gonna change it, and I ended up thinking that it worked really well, and so I ended up going back to it. And then for his athletic wear, just kind of a zip up hoodie and some pants, again pretty basic. I love the makeup that I gave him. I kept having to take that off. And then I did a matching set for his pajamas, just because that to me screamed rabbit and I really liked it. And then just a sweatshirt and jacket for his party look, and some basic pants again. Nothing too fancy for his swimwear, just some shorts and tank top. I might switch to. No, I kept the tank top. I was trying to find a different shirt because I didn't like the different colors, but I ended up keeping that. And then, a collared shirt for hot weather, and just some shorts again, nothing too over the top. Very basic. And then for his cold weather, again, just a nice pair of pants. And then I went with the sweater here, so I really like that for him as well. And that is our rabbit. Next on up, we're on to Tigger. Goodness, I cannot talk today. And I like Tigger. I had a hard time. I think he was probably maybe the one I had the hardest time. But I gave him the bodybuilder aspiration. He is active. He is self-assured as well. He thinks he knows more than he does. And he is a chatterbox. Those are the traits I gave him. And Tigger never is quiet. Rabbit's always yelling at him to be quiet. So definitely had to give him those. Again, love the makeup that it auto-generated. I had to take that all off, which is a bit annoying, but it still works. And for his everyday look, again, I like the shirt I found. I think that's my favorite for him, just like for Eeyore, the everyday look. I really think I captured what he would wear as a sim. And then, of course, his eyes. Tigger has like the beadiest, roundest eyes, and so I tried to capture that as well. And then I really played around with his face a lot. Like, I do this, and then I think I go back in and play around with it a little bit more. Because he has very, like, high cheekbones, and they kind of really stick out. Like, he has a wide upper face, and then he really tapers down in the jaw area. And so I was trying to capture that. And again, try to kind of go for an orange tone, but just a little bit darker, like a little bit cooler, not as bright as the other ones. And then I knew I wanted a lot of pattern. This hoodie situation right here I thought was perfect. It has the stripes. Would have been more perfect if it was orange and black, but you do what you can. And then I just gave him the orange shirt. And then I knew I needed to give him some type of hair. Like, I don't see him being bald. I'm not really sold on this hair. I might go in and change it later on. But for now, I figured it works. He doesn't have like a ton of hair, that's sticking up or anything. And so I ended up going with that hair. But it kind of throws it off for me. So I might change that later on. And then for his formal look, I gave him that llama sweater. Again, just pattern. When I think of Tigger, I think of pattern and just things that you're gonna notice him when he comes into the room. And so I tried to give him a lot of pattern for his different outfits. And these pants just make me think of Springy, and that's why I went with them. I think of Tigger, I think of Springs, and those pants just make me think of Springs, and so that's why I went with those pants several times. And then for his hot weather, just pair of shorts and tank top. I give him this jacket. I like that it had the black and the orange zigzags, and then pretty basic for his cold weather. So that is Tigger, and now we are on to Al, and I debated what to give him, and I ended up going with Renaissance Sim. He is also self-assured. He is a bookworm. Again, I would have loved to have a know-it-all trait for him, and I gave him the talkative trait because he's always talking and sharing his knowledge, so I gave him the talkative trait as well. Yeah, I really like Al, and I kind of sad that he's not as notable in some of the movies or some, of the shows and such. I obviously haven't watched them all, but the ones I've watched, he kind of disappears, and it kind of makes me sad because I really liked Al, even though he was a bit of a know-it-all. So, but yeah, this is Al, and I try to go for a very, stately, elderly, proper gentleman type look for him. It's not necessarily button-up shirts, but definitely collared shirts and sweaters, like a Mr. Rogers vibe is kind of what I was trying to go for him. For the most part, obviously, it varied. I think this is what I ended up going for his everyday wear. I did like the sweater a lot, and I used that later on, but I ended up not using that for his everyday wear. I used that plaid jacket and button-up shirt. And then for his workout, it's kind of hard to get that proper look, and so I just went with this pullover hoodie here, and just a basic pair of pants for his workout wear. So, like I said, I struggled a little bit with him. Some of the outfits, it's hard to get kind of that proper feeling. And then I realized I was kind of straying off the color I wanted. I wanted a darker brown for Al, not so much beige or more like a green brown. I really wanted kind of the darker true brown for him. I think I went with these shorts here, just a little bit different, but birds, often have their bare legs. They have their little feathers that stop up high, so I thought it was okay for that. And then his party look, just a nice pair of pants, and then I gave him that jacket and undershirt there. Swimwear, again, was kind of hard to find something, so I gave him those. I didn't want to do the same shirt as Rabbit, so I think I ended up going with this shirt here. I did change it a little bit, trying to see if there was something that I liked better, but in the end I went back to it. And then for his hot weather, I went with this polo shirt here, which I liked. I don't think it's necessarily Mr. Rogers vibes. I probably could have found a better shirt for it, but I still liked it. It still seemed very proper and nice for him. And so that's what I ended up going with. And then for his jacket, I found this jacket and sweater set there. And so that is my Owl. And now we are on to Kanga and Rue. They're not my favorite characters, and I don't know why. I know, I'm sure a lot of people really love them. Kanga is the sweet motherly character, and then you have little Rue. But I don't know. I think Rue just tries too hard to be like Tigger, where I think they really could have developed his own character. I don't know. I don't know why they kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I really did enjoy making them. As far as Sims go, I thought they were really cute, especially Kanga. I really liked, I was able to kind of play around with her outfits a little bit. And so same thing with her. I really wanted her, she's a little bit disproportionate. She's very wide on the bottom and very slender on the top. And that's, how she is in kangaroo form. And so I was really trying to capture that. And then I know she wears like a little pink apron sometimes, so I was trying to get like apron vibes for her, and I was able to find, it's coming up here, this right here. I thought this worked really nicely. I like the other pink better, but I didn't like the designs it had on the like the little characters. I didn't That really didn't seem Kanga to me. But this apron with no characters I thought worked really really well for her. And so that's why I ended up going with this look. And then I realized I needed to do her hair and her eyes as well. So I went back in and fixed that before I move on. Of course, and she has very arching eyebrows, so I really try to capture that as well. Like I said, I do like creating these characters because you can really play up the animation on them, which I think is a lot of fun. You know, you can kind of go outside the norm of what would normally be acceptable in society. So I have a lot of fun with these guys. And I just went with this hair here, the previous one. I really liked it. Oh no, okay, I went with this hair, which is similar to the first one I had. But just pretty basic, short, pixie. I thought worked really, really well for her. And of course, it made her ears stick out a little bit. Didn't change her skin tone too much, just adjusted it a little bit to kind of be like a warmer brown color, which I really, really liked as well. So I think she's cute. I don't think you would necessarily see her and think Kinga, but knowing that that's what I was going for, I think it does fit. You know, some of the others you would look at them and definitely get the right kind of vibes from them, but Kinga's a little bit different. But I really do like how she turned out. And then for her her workout wear, sorry, I got a little distracted there. This was probably one of the harder outfits for her, you know, just trying to find the right one. But I like this top here. It had the brown and the pink, which I thought was really, really nice. And then I just found these brown pants to go with it. And I was trying to kind of alternate. I didn't want too much pink or anything like that. And so I was trying to use the brown and the pink together. For sleep, I just went with kind of a nice cozy sweater and pair of pants. Nothing too over the top. Like I said, I wanted cozy and warm style for her. That's really what I was going for Kinga here. So I really, like I said, I really do like how she turned out. I think she's really cute. And there's some of the outfits where I thought, oh, that'd be cute, but it just didn't really work for her, unfortunately. And I gave her this one. I really liked the brown with the leaves, and I thought it worked well for her, even though I'm kind of going the opposite. But really, I should have probably been doing pink on the bottom and brown on the top anyway, because all she wears is that little apron. Like, she normally doesn't really wear anything on her top half. And so I probably should have gone this way in the beginning, but I like the outfits that I came up with for her. And so this is what I give her for swimwear, just high-waisted shorts and just a top, a nice tank top there for her. And then for her hot weather, I went with, they're like well, you'll see them here in a second. But I do go with some shorts. They're the ones with like the little lace pattern, I think. These ones right here. And I like the little collared brown shirt. I thought that was really cute and worked well for her as well. And then this is her cold weather look. So pretty simple and straightforward for Kinga. Nothing too fancy. And then we had to make little Rue and try to get a good base sim that already had, you know, the features I wanted. So I only had to tweak it a little bit. And then I did give him the social butterfly aspiration. Rue is very talkative and very social with all the other characters. And then he's also very active. Like, the kid never stops. So that's why I went with those for him. And yeah, just getting him blank slate. Get rid of that spider lipstick that it was giving him. And just finding the right look for Rue. And so I give him this kind of messy hair. I definitely think if he was a sim or a human, he would kind of have messy hair a little bit. And then I knew I wanted to go with blue for him. He wears the blue shirt, and so that I had to go that route. And I could see him being kind of a fan of like sports and, you know, kind of having sport players that he kind of athletes that he looks up to. I could definitely see that. And then I gave him the little shirt with the bow tie. I thought that was really really cute. And then I gave him, you know, again an athletic kind of jersey for his workout wear. Pretty simple for his sleepwear. Nothing too fancy. Went with blue and brown. And then for his party look, again, I wanted to kind of go a little cutesy, and so I give him that look there with the sweater, which is a little bit more put together and not as rough and tumble. I think his mom maybe would have made him wear that. So, and then this is his cold weather look here. Pretty basic. I like the brown little patches on the elbows, and then the brown jeans. So that is Rue. I had to play around with him a little bit, but I think he's really cute, and I like how he turned out. Of course, we're going back through Kanga. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys here as I do the last little looks, and we will see you on Friday for their build. Bye, guys. Have a great week.